Okay. Good evening, respected officer in charge, Mr. Shamal Haldar, sir. Our IKSC coordinator, Dr. Alina Pradhan, ma'am. I think we also have the presence of our TCS, sir. Is he there? Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Gyanendra Subba, our Teachers Council Secretary, and today's guest of evening, Dr. Sutendu is also with us. So, welcome, sir. So today, as we were discussing that we wanted to start with our monsoon lecture session, and today we have gathered here to start with this session. And my thanks to my colleague and this convener of this entire process, Dr. Sandipan Talukdar, who actually made this possible. And I request, before this program starts, I request our OIC sir to say a few words. Sir.
Thank you, Ritesh, HOD sir, Department of Zoology. And good evening to everyone. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of this academic endeavor, which has been initiated and arranged by Department of Zoology, Guruvardhan Government College. I wish that such academic endeavors should be continued in the future years also, because I know that these kinds of lecture series will be benefiting our students a lot, and our students who have joined in this lecture series, they will think toward Professor Department of History, Dr. Sukhendu Roy, sir, to our college, to this online platform of our college. And I hope your expertise, your knowledge on the topic will enlighten, will benefit our students of Department of Zoology, of course, motivated to learn more, and all the please be very will be delivered lecture speakers. And if you have any queries, any questions on the field, anything in your mind, if you do not understand some certain areas, so I hope you will be getting those. And I hope there is an lecture, sir.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Ritesh?
Yes, what did you say, sir? What did you ask just now?
Hello?
Yes, sir. हाँ सर की बोल रहे आपने what did you say just before? Am I audible?
Actually, I hope there will be a question and answer session.
Yes. There
will be an interaction.
Interactive session where students can ask questions regarding the topic. Yeah.
Yes, sir. There would be an interactive session at the end of the lecture.
I was asking our students. Okay. So, students, please feel free to ask your questions. If you can't understand anything, those hazy areas, please get those things clarified and by our respected speaker. And I wish all success of this lecture and future lecture programs which will be conducted by the Department of Zoology, and I hope everything will be benefiting our students a lot. Thank you so much. Yes, Ritesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your unwavering support, because without your support, this would have not been possible. Thank you for all your support and kind words. So now I would like to request our IQAC coordinator to present her views regarding this now. Please.
Okay, so respected OIC sir, Mr. Shamal Haldar, respected TCS sir, Dr. Gyanendra Subba, the subject expert for today's lecture, Dr. Sukhendu Roy, who is the Assistant Professor of Department of Zoology, Guskara Mahavidyalaya, respected Head of the Department, Dr. Ritesh Biswa, and Dr. Sandipan Talukdar, and my dear students. I think it is a great initiative by the Department of Zoology of Gorubatan Government College to do this series of lectures for the benefit of our students. And our students will get the opportunity to listen to the lectures from our esteemed experts from other colleges as well through this platform. And they can interact and they can discuss and learn a lot about the subject, sitting in the comfort of their homes. And today's lecture, which is entitled Endocrine Regulation of Menstrual Cycle, seems a very, very interesting topic. And I think it is very important for all the students, especially for the females who know the pain and pleasure of the menstrual cycle. And I think the role of hormones is very important in the menstrual cycle, and also because menstrual disorders are one of the most common gynecological complaints of women right from the age of menarche to menopause. So I really hope that through this lecture, the students will be enlightened about this very important and interesting topic. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your kind words. Indeed, today's lecture, I strongly believe that Dr. Roy's insight in the subject will definitely help our children, our students, and they will definitely learn a lot of information from today's lecture. Now, I will just request our TCS sir, Dr. Gyanendra Subba, to say a few words regarding today's lecture. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Respected OIC, sir, Mr. Shamal Haldar, and respected IQAC coordinator, Madam Dr. Elina Pradhan, ma'am, and respected HOD, Zoology Department, Gorubatan Government College, Ritesh Biswa, sir, and Assistant Professor, Dr. Sandipan Talukdar, Department of Zoology, Government College, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to welcome our today's special guest, who is going to deliver the lecture on said topic, Dr. Sukhendu Roy, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Guskara Mahavidyalaya. Sir, good evening, sir. I would like to welcome you on behalf of all the teaching faculty of our college. So, I got the message from the department that Zoology Department is going to hold such kind of lecture series, which will be on online in an online mode. So it is nicely thought, and with keeping in mind of the situation, whatever Zoology Department has decided is very much it is appreciable. And for this, because of this lecture, our students who are very much, in the corner of different places can have opportunity to get subjects, get something new from the speaker. So this is for the students. It is your opportunity to learn something new in an online mode. And you all know it that this is the era of globalization, and we have much we have so many options to learn. So this is apart from your daily classes. This kind of series lecture will be obviously benefiting you. So for this, I would like to thank and congratulate also to the Department of Zoology, Gorobatan Government College. This will be really a path-breaking work for our college. We'll be holding such kind of seminars on this to come in different departments also. So thank you very much for this innovative work, sir, HOD of Zoology. So I would like to again welcome our respected sir, Sukhendu Roy sir, in our lecture series. So for the students, kindly make an interactive session also. You just join there. Whatever you have queries, you just put it with the professor. So I would like to thank the zoology department, sir, as a whole. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, our TCS, sir, Dr. Gyanendra Subba. Indeed, our students will take better advantage of today's lecture. And now we are at the end of this part. Before we start with the lecture, I would like to request our, my colleague, Dr. Sandipan Talukdar, sir, to introduce our today's invited speaker, Dr. Sukhendu Roy, who is Assistant Professor of the Department of Zoology at Guskara Mahavidyalaya. He is a person of, what we say, very, how do I put it together? I mean, he is a person of metal, and he has done a lot of work. And Dr. Sandipan Tadar will introduce him to our students and the delegates. Sir, please.
Thank you, Ritezda. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, respected OC sir, IQAC madam, TCS sir, HOD Zoology, and my dear friend Sukhendu Roy, Dr. Sukhendu Roy, and my beloved students. I take this great pleasure to introduce one of my childhood friends, Dr. Sukhendu Roy, to my dear students. He was a student of Malda College, and then he pursued his master's from Darjeeling Government College, and then qualified UGC NET, and then did his PhD from Bardhaman University in entomology, and presently he is working in Guskura Mahavidyalaya as an assistant professor. He was also the previous head, and even he is also the coordinator of Netaji Subhash Open University Study Center in Guskura Mahavidyalaya. Dr. Roy is someone who has been a big inspiration even in my journey as a student, as a teacher. And to be very frank, as I always say to my students, you should always dream big, because if you dream big, you want to dream big together. I can still remember in the days of 2009, 2010, we used to dream like this, that we'll do this, we'll do PhD, we'll do this. And by the grace of God, now we are at least in a situation to teach, to express our views to our students, and for that, I consider myself very, very lucky. So I think his talk will enhance your idea on the subject, but most importantly, you will be enlightened by his beautiful personality and friendly gestures. Thank you. Now the stage is all for Dr. Roy. Shukendu, it's all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, all the dignitaries, my beloved students, and my best friend, Sandy. I'm very glad to be part of this Monsoon lecture series. I'm still a learner, being a student of zoology. This topic, the endocrine regulation of menstrual cycle, always fascinating for me. So that's why I choose that topic. With due permission of the official in charge and the IQAC coordinator, ma'am, I just discussed my topic on the menstrual cycle. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Sir, before you start, if you don't mind, I just reached home. I'll take a shower. So, if you don't mind, please excuse me for now.
Okay.
The platform is yours, sir. You are most welcome. You are the opening batsman of our monsoon series. So, the field is yours. The bowlers are there. So, you hit whatever sixes you want to hit. My students, please make use of it. Make use of this opportunity. Not. In fact, you are the only students who are going to get this opportunity in our college for the time being. Okay, so you are the only one. So please make use of it. So Dr. Sukendu, the floor is yours. Please continue and excuse me for now. I will definitely join later on to you people.
Let's.
Shukendu, would you please start sharing? Prashidika, would you stop sharing your screen so that Shukendu sir can share his screen?
Excuse me, Sandeepan sir.
Sir.
Hello, where is sir? Shamal sir. Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
I also want to excuse sir. Is it possible, sir? No problem.
No problem. No problem.
I think it's for the students, obviously, but I myself want to listen to some parts of this lecture because I'm very much interested to learn. I often consider myself a learner. One more thing. With our students, I will be always enjoying any kind of lectures which will be delivered to our students by the external experts. So I will be staying for a few minutes. Okay. So yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure for us.
Dr. Sukendu Roy, we are sorry. You can continue.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. Okay, Sukendu sir, the floor is yours. Thank you for this particular lecture, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And ITC madam, I am leaving. Thank you very much.
Okay. Sandipan.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll be in this meeting for some time. Then I'll be leaving also after 5-10 minutes.
Okay. No issues, ma'am.
Okay,
Thanks for giving us the advice and joining. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. My presentation is shown to all.
Not actually, Shukendu. It's showing your Google Meet page.
Google Meet page.
Yeah, it's not showing. Would you try to share again?
Yes.
Otherwise, you can do one thing. You can say.
Is it
yeah, it's again showing the Google Meet page. Yeah, it's now showing. Now it's showing.
Okay.
Now it's showing.
Now our topic is the endocrine regulations of the menstrual cycle. Am I audible properly, dear student?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. I am not teaching. We are just discussing some topic, namely menstrual cycle.
which is we all know this is the monthly cycle took place to prepare for pregnancy or not pregnancy. So actually, menstrual cycle is a monthly series of change. Each month, one of the ovaries release an egg, and this is known as a ovulation. So our discussion is the process of this technique, this process in the body. This is a very complicated process, but we are trying to discuss more lightly and more easily. These are the structure of the female reproductive organ. These are the ovaries, and these are the fallopian tubes. These are the vaginal part, uterus. So what happened? The menstrual cycle. Now, what is the function? One second. Hello? 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 Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened? The phase.
You are audible. You are audible.
The phase of menstrual cycle. The phase of menstrual cycle. There are actually in context of ovarian aspect. There is a two phase: follicular phase and the luteal phase. And on the other hand, if you consider into the uterine cycle, this is the proliferative phase, and another is the secretory phase. Okay. Now, first, now, which was the highest center of our body to regulate this process? Not ovary, not uterus, actually. The site, actually, I am talking about the site, the center of our body to regulate this process. This is not the ovary. They are just taking the command to orchestrate the process. Where is the command center? Now, question is, where is the command center? Actually, the command center is in the hypothalamus. This is the hypothalamus. This is the actually chairman of all the endocrine glands. Do you know what is the weight of the hypothalamus? Only 4 grams. But this 4-gram weight hypothalamus regulates 80 or 70 or 80 kg of the body. Everything regulated by this. So what happened? The hypothalamus actually stimulate the anterior pituitary that control the ovary, and the ovary that control the uterus. These are the normal phenomena. Now, what are the time period of this menstrual cycle? What are the time period? Averagely, we know that the time limit is the 28 days. So, what should be the normal range? Because 10 to 15% of the women naturally have 28 days cycle. So, what should be the normal range? Because in actual only, what is the normal range? So, normally, in average, it is 28 days cycle. But what happened in case of menstrual cycle? 21 to 35 days is the normal cycle range. 21 days to 35 days. These are the normal cycle range of this menstrual cycle. Before or after that, considered as the abnormality. So now come to the real story. How it orchestrates. The ovarian cycle is the best described in terms of 2 consecutive phases, which early mentioned. That is the follicular phase. One is the luteal phase. Now come to the follicular phase. I show this picture. Okay. So what happened? Hypothalamus to release gonadotropin releasing hormone. It stimulates the anterior pituitary, and that form follicle stimulating hormone. Now, what happened in ovary? We know about the female past day 1 to day 28, what kind of change took place in her body. That is our main concerning area. What is happening in the hypothalamus? What is happening in the anterior pituitary? What is happening in the ovary? What is happening in the uterus? That is the concept we have developed over this period of time. Let's start with the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary. Okay. So, at the early days of the menstrual cycle, hypothalamus that release gonadotropic releasing hormone that stimulate anterior pituitary, and it release the follicle stimulating hormone. Now, in the ovarian part, what happened? We all know that the ovary, there is a special type of follicular cell which is known as a primordial follicle cell. Here is the primordial follicle cell. Now, primordial follicle cell, have you heard of it? So, what is the structure of this primordial follicle cell? This primordial follicle cell, actually what happened? Primordial follicle cell has one ovum, and the ovum is surrounded by a flattened epithelial cell or follicular cell. These are the flattened follicular cell. Now, what happened? The primordial cell do not need to be stimulated. Every month, now what happened? A follicular stimulated primordial follicle do not need for stimulation. Every month, it automatically start growing and converts some of the primordial follicle into primary follicle. Some of the primordial follicle convert into primary follicle. Now, actually, FSH, which is secreted from the anterior pituitary, work on the primary follicle to convert into secondary follicle. So, the release of FSH actually help primary follicle into the secondary follicle. Now, what is the difference between primary follicle and the primordial follicle? The primordial follicle, there is a flattened follicular cell. But in case of primary follicle, this follicular cell now transform into cuboidal cell. And this cuboidal cell may be monolayered, may be multiple layered. Okay. Now, what is the function of this cell? What are they doing? Of course, it is for nourishment. Now, taking in the primary follicle to the secondary follicle, FSH is needed. That is, this FSH is needed. That is coming from anterior pituitary. What is happening in the secondary follicle? The cell form the multiple layer of granulosa cell. These are the granulosa cell. This blue color cell is the granulosa cell. After completion of the granulosa cell, ovum will build a private layer. This ovum is build a private layer. The red layer. This red layer is the primary layer made up of glycoprotein layer and cover up this layer known as a zona pellucida layer. Right? This is the zona pellucida layer. What is the function of this zona pellucida layer? This is actually help for prevent polyspermy. So another layer is formed outside the granulosa cell. These granulosa cells exterior part, another type of cells are formed, which is known as a theca cell. Now, as we grow further, the theca cell is developed into two types. We all know that the theca interna and the theca externa. Now, so the secondary follicle, three types of cells are shown. One is the zona pellucida layer, another is the granulosa cell, and another is the theca cell. Now, zona pellucida layer function is the polyspermy block. Now come to the theca cell, the outermost layer, the theca cell. This theca cell's functions are that the theca cell produce androgen. Look, this is a female reproductive system, but this theca cell is producing androgen, which is a male hormone. Okay, thank God, theca cell is producing actually. Thank God, it go to the this cell actually go to the granulosa cell. So theca cell, when producing the androgen hormone, the hormone is enter into the granulosa cell, and this granulosa cell, the function of granulosa cell, they convert this androgen into estrogen, which is the female hormone. So how fascinating thing is going around. One is the zona pellucida layer, which is preventing the polyspermy. Another is the theca cell, which is producing a hormone. The androgen is a male-like hormone, and this male-like hormone actually producing from the theca cell is enter into the Graafian follicle, and this Graafian follicle, granulosa cell, and this granulosa cell actually converting this androgen into estrogen, but they are very clever. What happened? Formation of this androgen to estrogen, a new cavity is formed. This cavity, which is actually termed as a Graafian follicle. So here is the Graafian follicle, and this is the maturation phase of that. The primordial follicle first transform into primary follicle. Then, in the help of FSH, it forms the secondary follicle, and then it mature into a Graafian follicle, and that is the mature Graafian follicle. Now, this is the part of ovarian development. Now, what happened in the uterus? The estrogen produces from the granulosa cell. This granulosa cell, which produces the estrogen hormone, this estrogen hormone actually go to the uterus. Not fully, this estrogen produces the granulosa cell come into the uterus and acts on the endometrial cell, and this is actually acts on endometrial cell and functions like, so actually this type of cell, this secretion, estrogen secretion, this estrogen actually go and function in the uterine endometrial wall, and endometria is preparing the endometrial wall, and when it prepares the endometrial wall are thick, actually built like endometrial wall look like a thick wall. Previously it was a very thin wall, but due to the action of estrogen hormone, it is multiplying, and endometrial cell are multiplying, proliferate, and ultimately a thick wall is formed. So estrogen now perform another function. Here, estrogen, these are the another function of estrogen. Look. Wait a second. Okay, estrogen. Look, this picture. Now, the estrogen is releasing. The estrogen has another function. It acts on the anterior pituitary and the anterior pituitary and act a negative feedback. When estrogen is released from the granulosa cell, one act on the endometrial wall and the another function of estrogen, it go to the anterior pituitary and form a negative feedback. After that, anterior pituitary regulate the secretion of FSH. Now, FSH level is down. Now, the FSH due to the action of estrogen feedback, negative feedback to the anterior pituitary, the FSH secretion is low. Okay, the FSH secretion is low. So when FSH secretion is low, then what happened is FSH, now the good follicles are mature and the bad follicles, due to lack of FSH, degenerate. These degenerating follicles are known as a atretic follicle. Okay, these degenerating follicles are known as a atretic follicle. Now, these are the Graafian follicle, the mature Graafian follicle. This is the primordial follicle, primary follicle, secondary follicle, and the mature Graafian follicle. This Graafian follicle perform. This is the good Graafian follicle. Another, which is the not well matured, these Graafian follicles are actually degenerated due to the lack of FSH. Now, another interesting things that took place, the high amount of estrogen transferred the negative feedbacks. The high amount of estrogen transfers the negative feedback into positive feedback sometime later. And what happened? Due to that, LH and the FSH dramatically increase from the anterior pituitary. Okay, so FSH and the LH are dramatically increase in the anterior pituitary, and the LH increase is 10 times faster and the FSH is 2 times faster. This LH multiplication in the blood took place. And what is the result of LH secretion? What are the result? The result is the blood vessels. The blood vessel in the Graafian follicle is dilated. These blood vessels are dilated. Theca cell release some destructive enzyme. This theca cell release some destructive enzyme. And the destructive enzyme, the Graafian follicle become big and the elevated and the needle-like, and the capillary of blood pressure reduces. Avascular dark color area is formed actually. In here is a dark color area is formed, and which is known as a stigma. And this increased pressure between the Graafian follicle. At the meantime, prostaglandin is dilates and the Graafian follicle within few hours rupturing took place. Here is the rupturing took place, and the ovum along with its substrate come out. Ovum along its substrate come out. So the gist is LH help in ovulation and LH work on the empty cell to form the corpus luteum. Here is the corpus luteum. Now, so the ovum come out with its substrate, and where it go? It go to the fallopian tube of the uterus. Okay. At the time of ovulation, estrogen level, the time of ovulation, the estrogen level is at the peak portion. Estrogen level is its highest level. Now, The remaining part, what is the remaining part are doing? The remaining part is the granulosa cell. What is the remaining part? The granulosa cell and little amount of theca cells are there. Now, the LH work on this cell, this theca cell and the granulosa cell. LH work on this theca and the granulosa cell, and dramatically change. And here, too much smooth endoplasmic reticulums are there, and that's why it accumulates some flat globulins and the cholesterol-rich area, and it look like a yellow region. This yellow region is known as the corpus luteum. Okay, this yellow region is known as the corpus luteum. So corpus luteum, it is this corpus luteum is an temporary endocrine gland of the female. Normal lifespan of these glands are 10 to 12 days. This corpus luteum produces a hormone known as progesterone. This corpus luteum actually produces a hormone which is termed as a progesterone. So progesterone, now what function progesterone done? Actually progesterone first it work on the endometrial wall again. What happened? This progesterone first work on endometrial wall. Some straight arteries are there in the endometrial wall. The progesterone coil the artery and coil them, and the endometrium become more swollen and the more vascular, and the endometrial wall become more thick. Now, there is an uterus. Okay, so this uterus, these are the fallopian tube, these are the vagina, these are the fundus, and these are the uterus, and these are the endometrial wall. These are the endometrial. These are the thick wall, endometrial thick wall, due to the action of progesterone and the estrogen. Okay. Now the progesterone actually do much more swollen. Actually, the progesterone due to the action of the progesterone, endometrial wall become much more swollen, more vascular, and the endometrial wall become the more thick. Now, what happened? On the other hand, is the ovum, the releasing ovum, enter into this fallopian tube. So, what happened? On the other hand, the ovum enter into the fallopian tube. The lifespan of the ovum, if sperms are not there, the lifespan of the ovum is 48 hours. Ovum die so silently that no chemical signals are there. So when ovum, after 2 days, when ovum are not seen any sperms are there, so ovum silently die. But what happened to the corpus luteum? Corpus luteum is thinking that he should help the uterus or the endometrial wall for maturation of this ovum in the further process. So corpus luteum is still doing the same. Corpus luteum is still releasing the progesterone hormone, and this hormone again the same work is done throughout 10 to 12 days. Now what happened? But after 10 to 12 days, no happy signals are there. If no happy signals are there, the happy signals for if sperms are there, so sperms and ovum mate, actually the happy signal is the HCG hormone. So if sperms are not there, so ovum die, so no HCG release, so no signals are there. So but after 10 to 12 days, no happy signal from the uterus, it become disappointed. The corpus luteum become disappointed and sadly degenerated to a much more smaller form, which is known as a corpus albicans. Okay. And what happened after that? Progesterone level is dramatically, when corpus luteum is degenerated, the progesterone level is suddenly downfall. The downfall of the progesterone. Now, what happened? Endometrial plasticity depends on progesterone. The endometrial wall's plasticity, this endometrial wall's plasticity, is depends upon the progesterone. So when corpus luteum is dying, so no progesterones are there. So when no progesterones are there, what happened? The plasticity of the endometrial walls are hampered. Then the cell become die broken, and the necrotic changes took places, and the bleeding occurred. And what is the time period of this bleeding time? Bleeding 4 to 5 days. But how much bleeding occurred? 20 to 80 ml of bleeding took place. So actually in endometrial wall, 3 layers are there: basal layer, glandular layer, and the compact layer. In this process, the glandular layer and the compact layers are actually destroyed and lost, but basal layers are still there. So when these layers are suddenly destroyed, it comes with blood and release outside. And in every month, it took place. Okay. So in the whole situation, the 4 hormones are actually performed consistently. One is the LH, FSH, and another is the estrogen, progesterone. Now, these are the hormonal regulation of the process. What happened? These are the 28-day average process. These are the ovulation phase. The day 14 is the ovulation phase. We consider it is the day 14 period. Now, what happened? This period, 1 to 14 days, is the follicular phase, and the 14 to 28 days is the luteal phase. What happened there? In the first 14 days, the primordial follicle is matured to Graafian follicle, and in this maturation, FSH has a significant role. When FSH has a significant role, here the ovum is released, and after release of the ovum, it enter into the Graafian follicle. And on the other hand, the remaining part is consistently converting into corpus luteum, and the corpus luteum is considered as a luteal phase. This corpus luteum, when forming corpus luteum, this corpus luteum form, the role of LH hormone, the luteinizing hormone, has a significant role. Now, come to the uterine part. When uterine part, initially uterus are very endometrial wall is very thin. Now what happened? As time progresses, the estrogen hormone secretion is increasing, and after the ovulation took place, what happened? The corpus luteum is formed, and when corpus luteum is formed, then the progesterone hormone secretion is increased. And when progesterone hormone secretion is increased, what happened? The endometrial wall is much more thicker. Okay. And after the end time, at the 28 days, suddenly corpus luteum is degenerated and the progesterone are not working. When progesterones are not working, the plasticity is completely gone, and the endometrial walls now broken. When the endometrium is broken, it comes out with blood and some other raw materials also. That is the whole process of the menstrual cycle. Mm, Thank you. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I think the connection is lost for some reason. I think we should wait for some time, let him join back. So I am informing him that he has been locked out. Just hold on for some time.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible now.
Actually, is there some temporary issue, technical issues are there?
No, not really. Can you share it? Share the screen.
Yeah.
স্ক্রিনটা একটু শেয়ার করার চেষ্টা কর, তাহলে বুঝতে পারবো।
এই অবধিতে আমি শেষ করেছি, এটা অবধি সবাই দেখতে পেয়েছে?
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Actually, I am talking. Okay, what happened in the gist? What happened in the whole process? 4 hormones are actually required. One is the luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, estrogen, and the progesterone. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, next, now what happened? First, if we consider the whole process into 28 days, okay, so the middle, the 14 days, the day 14 is the ovulation phase, okay. This is the ovulation phase where the ovum is released. So what happened in this process, when ovum is released, these are the follicular development. So this is the follicular phase. After that, in the ovary, these follicles now mature, now transform into corpus luteum. Now the rest of the time it is included in the luteal phase. Okay, this luteal phase, the corpus luteum formation, there is a role of LH hormone. On the other hand, in release of this ovulation, the function of FSH hormone is also important. Now come to the ovarian part, uterine part. Initially, day 1 to 14, the ovary, the uterine endometrial wall are thin. Okay. Now what happened after ovulation? The corpus luteum is formed. When corpus luteum is formed, the corpus luteum, the progesterone hormones are released. Progesterone hormone secretion is increasing. When progesterone hormone secretions are increasing, what happened? The endometrial wall, now thin endometrial wall, now become thick. Okay, and then repeatedly it becomes thick. But at the last time, the endometrial wall, the corpus luteum is degenerated. There is a lack of progesterone hormone, so that these progesterone hormone are decreasing. Lack of progesterone hormone. The lack of progesterone hormone, the plasticity of the endometrial wall is hampered, and it is destroyed, and secretion and release of content in the form of blood. Okay. This process is known as the secretory phase. On the other hand, the formation of the endometrial wall, which is known as the proliferative phase, and the period time the blood is released are known as the menstrual phase. These are the on the aspect of uterine aspect. But in the ovarian aspect,
Kiska,
the
mera.
proteins are divided into two parts. One is the follicular development by the help of FSH, the follicular phase, and another is the development of corpus luteum and its fate, which is known as the luteal phase. Okay. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
These are the main idea, brief idea of that. Okay. So if you have any question, you may ask.
Yeah.
Sandipan,
Hello. Yes.
আমার হয়ে গেছে।
Okay. Yeah, I just lost connection. My mic was somehow doing cross connections. Okay. Anyway.
No problem. There is a issue, technical issue is also there. Internet problem.
Yeah. I got a phone call from someone, and that phone call actually hampered everything. Okay. Anyway, my dear students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are audible.
Okay. Yeah. Ritesh sir has also joined. So I would like to ask our students if they have anything to say, or any questions, or any suggestions, or any of their views that they want to share with Sukhendu sir.
Anyone can ask question.
Sir, मुझे कोई
Yeah.
Yes, this is Gorima from 5th semester.
Okay.
Yes, please ask.
Sir, how does the menstrual cycle influence the mood?
Influence?
The mood.
Yeah. Actually, what happened? Menstrual cycle actually, what happened in actually, the menstrual is regulated by hypothalamus. Okay. Actual regulation of menstrual cycle are done by hypothalamus. ठीक है? तो क्या होता है कि वो hypothalamus से जो सिग्नल आता है वो सब कुछ के ऊपर निर्भर करता है. वो क्या करता है? When hypothalamus is secreting some information, so it control our mood also. So what happened? Due to some emotional disturbance, it may hamper menstrual cycle also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Garima, for this question. Anyone else? Language is not a barrier. If someone wants to ask in Bengali, you may do. If someone wants to ask in Nepali, you may do. We are there to translate your thoughts to our speaker, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruhi. This is Ruhi Sohel Ansari from 5th semester.
Yeah, Ruhi.
Good evening, sir. Sir, actually, me and one of my batch mates, we are doing a survey on thyroid and PCOS under the surveillance of our Dr. Sandipan Talukdar, sir. And so I actually wanted to know, like, how does thyroid affect the menstrual cycle?
Yeah, it's affect the menstrual cycle because what happened? The normal function of FSH and the LH is actually hampered due to the thyroid problem. Okay? So when LH and the FSH hormone secretion is hampered, it will actually, the follicular development is interrupted. So that's why it is a concerning problem recent time. Okay. So follicular development, there is a delay in follicular development. So ovulation is delaying. Okay, Ruhi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Ruhi. Anyone else from other semesters? It may be something related to menstrual cycle, may not be directly, related to class also. As we all know, there are many social taboos and, superstitions that are associated with such thing. The main motto for choosing this topic as our class topic is to debunk many of the myths that are there in our society. We all know that these things have been there for thousands and thousands of years, and this may not go automatically, but it is only through the spreading of the sprinkle of knowledge from the science and logical thinking that we may come up with better solutions to these intricate issues. And the main motto of such any kind of such lecture series is not only to get you oriented with the syllabus, but also to discuss certain topics that are we do not get time due to this very high voltage schedule of FYUGP and CVCS. We do not get time to discuss many things that we want to say even in the class due to lack of time. Now, these kind of open forum discussions give us this idea. We still have time, so I ask any of our students, any of the students from the other batches also, if they want to share some of their views or they want to ask something to sir. We are, having him, so we can share our, we can actually, get the best out of him or his teaching experience. So, anyone else? Please, use the hand signal so that I can say. I think this is Ruchika. And obviously, Ritesh sir is there. So, let us first hear from Ritesh sir.
Acha, I'm sorry, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to disturb in between Sandipan sir's talk. Actually, the beauty of our subject is there are 3 male teachers, okay, right now, who are discussing the topic of menstruation. Me and Sandipan sir is there, and Sukhendu sir is there, who are discussing this topic. So, being a zoologist or being a biologist, I think the first thing when you become a biologist, all these taboo gets vanished. You don't believe in that taboo anymore. We believe in science, and we practice. We are the student of science, so there is no, nothing to believe in taboos and nothing to believe or nothing to hesitate about, because you have to come up with questions. So you have to come up with answers. And I'm thankful to Dr. Sandipan sir and Dr. Sukhendu for come up with this topic for the inauguration of our Monsoon lecture series. And I thank you, both of you, for such a beautiful topic. And it's very much pertinent that our students need to discuss these things in open forum, because this is the very much truth that our children face. I'm also the father of a daughter, and also Sandipan sir. We are the father of daughters, and we understand that at one point of time we have to understand that our daughters will also go from the same phase. They will also go through the same phase. So we need to be prepared mentally. We need to be prepared socially and psychologically. So I urge my students, do not hesitate. Whatever you have, the ideas or the questions or views, please share. Even the guys, the boys who are there in the group, you can also, because see, around you also you find a lot of female, your mother, your sisters, okay? If you understand this topic properly, you can understand their problem, their, the kind of situation they go through, and I think in a much better and understanding way by understanding this whole topic. Thank you, Surendra sir. Sandipan sir, please carry on.
Thank you, Ritesh sir. I think Ruchika was raising her hand. Ruchika?
Yeah, Ruchika.
Yes, sir.
Your question, Ruchika?
You want to
Sir?
ask some question?
ইয়েস স্যার আমি বললাম যে আপনি একটা সময় বললেন না যে 28 পর্যন্ত মানে ওইটা কি একটা এজ লিমিট আপনি বলছিলেন নাকি মানে একটা মানে
নরমালি আমাদের মধ্যে একটা কনসেপশন হচ্ছে যে 28 ডেজে মেনস্ট্রুয়াল সাইকেলের টাইম পিরিয়ডটা হচ্ছে 28 ডেজ, ঠিক আছে?
আচ্ছা
এটা এভারেজ, কিন্তু তা কিন্তু নয়। হ্যাঁ,
আচ্ছা
নয়। তার কারণ হচ্ছে যে অনেক প্রত্যেকের ক্ষেত্রে এটা ডিফার করে। দেখা যাচ্ছে যে 28 যেটা এভারেজ বলছি আমরা, এটা 10 থেকে 15% মহিলাই মাত্র ওই 28 ডেজ এর মধ্যে হয়, মানে মেনস্ট্রুয়াল সাইকেলটা কমপ্লিট করে। অধিকাংশ ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যায় যে এটা মোটামুটি এই 21 থেকে 35 দিনের মধ্যে এটাকে একটা টাইম লিমিট ধরা হচ্ছে। ওকে, এবার এনিথিং বিফোর 21 days or after 35 days is considered as an abnormality, and then you are actually then she should go to the pathology. Okay,
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে স্যার। মাঝে মানে অনেক সময় হয় না যে অনেকের মানে মেবি মানে পিরিয়ডস যেটা হয় আর কি 2 টাইমস হয়, মানে মান্থে 2 টাইমস হয়, তো ওদের ব্যাপারে মানে কিছু
কি হয় বলো, আরেকবার বলো।
বললাম যে পিরিয়ডস দুইবার করে হয়, মানে একটা মাসে মানে 28 দিন, যেটা মনে করো আমরা যে এভারেজ ধরি আর কি, ওইটার মধ্যে একটা 2 টাইমস হয় পিরিয়ডস।
2 টাইমস হয়?
হ্যাঁ
মানে
স্যার কারণ কি এটা আমি নিজেই ঠিক করছি আর কি।
Okay, I think I can help her. I mean, what possibly Ruchika wants to say, that sometimes it happens that the interim period between one cycle and the other cycle gets shortened. But yeah, but that's not something that is very normal. Okay,
that is not normal actually.
It's not normal. We have, but it's not something even.
Ruchika, is it a regular? Is it the regular happening? I mean, the person who was having 2 periods at a time within a month.
Yes, sir.
Is it regular? প্রত্যেকবার হয় ওই রকমই না ওইটা occasionally ওইটা?
Occasionally মানে মাঝে মাঝে এরকম হয় আর কি।
আচ্ছা, then there must be some.
That may happen.
There must be some hormonal problem. Disbalance may be there, I think.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sukhendu sir, please.
এটাই হবে রুচিকা, আদারওয়াইজ আর কোনো জায়গা নেই আর কি। কিছু একটা হরমোনাল ইমব্যালেন্স আছে যার জন্য ওটা হচ্ছে, একটু দেখানো দরকার।
আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
And excuse me, I also seek the permission of Ritesh sir and Sukhendu, because I have a thought, and I do often say this in my class when I teach endocrinology, that see, we have a very strange society. There is a group of doctors called gynecologists, and then majority of the gynecologists in our part of the country are female, lady doctors. Yet, there is a vast majority of women who would not want to be treated by the gynecologist for certain gynecological problem, because they do think that if you go to the gynecologist, who your neighbors, your relatives may think about something else, or may have a very strange feeling, or that may have a social effect and all these things. So I think this is the time when we must come out of all those hindrance and all those bindings. There are specialist doctors for specialist problems. If I have a fever and a cough, I'll go to a medicine doctor. If I have a bone fracture, then I'll go to a bone specialist. Similarly, if you have any gynecological problem, you'll go to a gynecologist. There is nothing much to discuss or nothing much to get worried about visiting the chamber of a gynecologist or an endocrinologist. Okay? So just try to think it from a very normal point of view. As we have discussed, this is a very normal process, like digestion, like circulation, like reproduction, like, say, for example, respiration. Is just like this. It's a simple biological process and nothing else. Yes. I see the hand raised from Ruhi and Sandhya. I want to give Sandhya a chance first. Then, if time permits, I'll give Ruhi a chance also. Yes, Sandhya.
Sandhya.
Hello, good evening, sir. Sir, my question is this: like in this point of in this on this generation, like we girls feel so much pain on periods time, like immense pain. I personally feel this pain. So what I want to know, कि what actually make us like what actually the पेन क्यों होता है सर और इसको लाइक ओवरकम करने के लिए लाइक व्हाट वी शुड डू लाइक आई पर्सनली टेक दिस मेफ्टल स्पेस लाइक एक मेडिसिन है so I heard somewhere कि this is not good, this has many side effects, and I personally feel that. So what actually should we do to like so that our period cramps will be lesser?
Look what happens, Sandhya. Actually, yeah, medicine is not good. But what happened? This is a very complicated process. Okay. क्या होता है कि जब वो एंडोमेट्रियल का जो लेयर होता है ना वहाँ पे कुछ ब्लड कैपिलरीज होता है when progesterones are there this progesterone actually वो कैपिलरी को ना कोयल करके इतना 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 क्या बोलता है हार्ड करके रखता है ना वो कहते एंडोमेट्रिया इतना थिक हो जाता है और क्या होता है कि जब जब ओवम डिजेनरेट हो जाता है जब ओवम नष्ट हो जाता है उसके बाद भी 8 दिन तक कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम कंसिस्टेंटली प्रोजेस्टेरॉन को रिलीज करता है और प्रोजेस्टेरॉन एंडोमेट्रियल वॉल के ऊपर काम करता रहता है यही आशा में कि ओवम विल have some magic touch with the sperm. But what happened? And he preparing the endometrial wall much more thicker, and these blood capillaries and some cells which are very much coiled and firmly attached. Then what happened when this corpus luteum is degenerated and the progesterone level is fall? इतना शॉकिंगली वो सब कुछ गिर जाता है इतना शॉकिंगली वो ब्लड कैपिलरीज वो टेयर हो जाता है ये बहुत पेनफुल हम लोग इमेजिन भी नहीं कर सकते ठीक है ऐसा होता है अब इसीलिए पेन होता है बहुत अब इसका इलाज तो हार्मोनल स्पेशलिस्ट और गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट वो लोग ही अच्छी तरह से बता सकते हैं बट ये नेचुरल है दिस पेन इज वेरी नेचुरल बिकॉज तुम सोचो कि एक जगह में जो नॉर्मल थिन लेयर है वो इतना थिक लेयर हो जाता है और सडनली it breaks with the blood and some dead cell materials so इसीलिए बहुत पेन होता है but some medicines are there फिर भी डॉक्टर लोग तो बोलता है कि मेडिसिन बहुत यूज करना नहीं चाहिए बट अगर बहुत पेन हो फिर तो लेना ही चाहिए अब क्या कर सकते हैं इसीलिए ठीक है संध्या
Sir, I want to add one question. Sir, every girl goes to the same procedure of like menstruation का same procedure है but आपने बोला कि tearing वो जब skin वो हो जाता है तो pain होता है but सब लड़कियों को pain नहीं होता है ना सर
नहीं सबको शायद पेन नहीं होता बट ये डिपेंड्स करता है हाउ मच सेक्रेशन ऑफ प्रोजेस्टेरॉन एंडोमेट्रियल थिकनेस हार्मोनल सेक्रेशन ये सब कुछ के ऊपर निर्भर करता है अगर ज्यादा ऐसा हो जाता है ओवर सेक्रेशन हो जाता है फिर तो प्रॉब्लम है फिर तो दिक्कत होता है ये डिपेंड्स करता है द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ द हार्मोन्स जो रिलीज होता है जो 4 हार्मोन के बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे थे LH, FSH, प्रोजेस्टेरॉन एंड द एस्ट्रोजन इस हार्मोन्स का सिक्रेशन का लेवल के ऊपर सब कुछ निर्भर करता है ओके
yes sir
now last question for today Ruhi you want to ask something I would request you to ask a short question because we are already over time, but you please do. Do we?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, there is maybe it's a myth, I guess. There is a myth that like normally it happens. Suppose a girl is on her periods and other girl whom she is talking to, um, like if she shares this thing with her, and the other girl is like, it's a normal kind of thing that is going on in the society itself. कि इसने बोल दिया अब मेरा तो होना ही है. And the next day, sir, and the next day the girl actually have she gets her period. So is it something related to like the nervous system or something like that?
मैं तुमको एक बात बता रहा हूँ. क्या होता है कि हमारा एक लिम्बिक सिस्टम होता है, ओके, हाइपोथैलेमस के अंदर, ठीक है रूही, लिम्बिक सिस्टम ऑफ आवर ब्रेन. दिस लिम्बिक सिस्टम ऑफ ये ब्रेन, ये यहाँ पे एक न्यूक्लियस होता है, उसका नाम है आर्क्यूएट न्यूक्लियस. ओके, actually this arcuate nucleus is regulating the mood and the emotional thing, emotional disturbance, everything. Okay, so what happened, maybe it generally a myth, but what happened sometime when people's or when females are emotionally disturbed, menstrual cycle may be hampered. That is a fact. But तुम जो बता रहे हो वो शायद मिथ ही होगा. ऐसा होना ही था नेक्स्ट दिन, वो मेरे हिसाब से वो मिथ ही है. ओके भाई, मगर ये तो बात है कि इमोशन के ऊपर मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल का भी एक रोल है. इमोशनल डिस्टरबेंस होने से वो मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल में इफेक्ट कर सकता है. ऐसा बहुत एग्जांपल है. ओके रूही?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, my dear students, for this fantastic interactive session. I think it was really enjoyable for all of us, especially to see our students coming up with very, very interesting questions, pertinent questions, and thoughtful questions. Now, may I request HOD Department of Zoology, Dr. Ritesh Bishwa, to provide the vote of thanks for today's lecture. And I also take this opportunity to thank my dear friend who has just accepted my invitation. I was very late in saying him, and it was him who gave the time just in a blink of an eye. So thank you, my dear friend, and we would definitely want you again in our class so that our students can learn many, many more things from your experience, your knowledge, and your endeavor. Thank you.
Actually, ये संदीपन सर, आप लोगों का संदीपन सर और मैं बहुत बचपन का दोस्त हूँ, तो ऐसा कोई बात ही नहीं है. इसका ये मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड है. और सबसे बढ़िया बात यही है कि যেটা সত্যি কথা বলছি আমি, সেটা হচ্ছে যে মানে আমার জীবনে যদি সত্যিকারের বড় কোনো টিচার থাকে তাহলে ওই, হ্যাঁ, আমি যখন খুব বিপদে পড়ে যাচ্ছিলাম তখন সত্যি কথা বলতে আমি জুলজি ততটাও যখন বুঝতাম না তখন সন্দীপন আমাকে অনেক হেল্প করেছে. তো এটা ফ্যাক্ট, ঠিক আছে. এখনো টিচার্স ডে হলে আমি সন্দীপনকে আগে ফোন করি, তারপরে আমার সমস্ত টিচারদের ফোন করি. তো ওগুলো কোনো ব্যাপার নয়. আর সন্দীপন কিছু বললে আমি তাতে হ্যাঁ হবে, সেটা খুব স্বাভাবিক.
No. It was a pleasure hearing you. It was a pleasure hearing you. And now I would request my senior and HOD Department of Zoology, Ritesh sir, to give an official vote of thanks, and he would also conclude the program with which we have been already over time for 6 to 7 minutes, and let's hear from our respected Ritesh sir.
Thank you, Sandeepan sir. First of all, I must say, I'm sorry that I could not continue to address or witness Sukhendu sir's lecture. I really missed that. I should have stayed back, but I just came from college and I was so tired that I should have taken shower. Anyways, I missed you, sir. I missed your lecture, but next time I will certainly, will not miss any opportunity. I am extremely honored from the Department of Zoology. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sukhendu Roy for accepting our invitation. Although he is a very good friend of Sandipan sir, best friend of Sandipan sir, but being expert in one subject and giving lecture to students, it requires a guts. And for accepting our invitation and to present today such a wonderful lecture, I express my heartfelt thanks from the Department of Zoology and from the Gurugram Government College as a whole. My heartfelt thanks to our OIC sir, Mr. Shamal Haldar, who actually provided us with his unwavering support and all the tools to conduct this seminar series. Because without his support, we would have not been able to organize such a beautiful, seminar series. We have just started with this, but obviously his support is always there. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Alina Pradhan, IQC Coordinator Ma'am, for her presence and for her guidance and for her support in this journey. My thanks to Dr. Gyanendra Subba, TCS, for his support. And a big thanks to my colleague, my junior, Dr. Sandipan Tabda. He is the key person. He is the, that ignition who actually came up with the entire fire. Actually, without his, this entire project, entire seminar is his idea. I was just there to support him, but the entire thing is done by him. And bringing Sukhendu is his idea. Everything is idea. So I, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you, Sandipan, for organizing such a beautiful seminar series. My heartfelt thanks to all my students, and particularly few more students who actually came forward for technical, support to us. They are, recording all this entire session. They are providing us with the technical support. I thank you all the students for being part of this series and being part of today's seminar. And Sandipan sir, you please conclude whatever the whole, since I was not here, you please conclude the entire talk and we can finish after that. Thank you everyone for being part of this.
Thank you. Thank you, Ritesh Da, for this heartful vote of thanks. But I must mention one thing, that in our department we are only two, and we always try to give our best to our students. And I must say that the academic supremacy that the Department of Zoology has achieved, I think it's for Sukhendu to know that even this year, one of our, we had only 2 students from 6 semesters, and you will be very happy to know that both of them scored more than 78% marks. And one of our students, Nilotpal Chakraborty, he actually, secured the first position within the entire college among all other subjects. So that's a great honor for all of us. We take pride in it. And especially as HOD Department of Zoology, I must always thank Ritesh sir, because yes, I may have been, working on this project, but it is he who actually have given me the free license to do anything which is going to help for the betterment of our students. Now, I would also like to conclude this lecture saying that menstruation is something which is, you cannot get out of it. It's something which is a reality. At the same time, it is a pain. At the same time, it is a pleasure. And I think the scientific insight for such biological activity may instigate all of my students to read about the subject of endocrinology and reproductive biology, and it's a very fantastic career that you can build on it. And I think today's lecture would sow the seed in your mind, which will germinate one day, and you will make the best of it. Thank you. Thank you, Shukhendu. Thank you, Ritesh sir. Thank you, my beloved students and the special technical committee who has been doing all this. On this note, I'd like to conclude a very good night to all of you, and see you soon. And tomorrow we have another lecture. So tomorrow we'll be meeting again at 7 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.